Hi everybody, this is Miss J and I'm excited about today's lesson about Fox again. This is our literature study foundation text. I'd like you to look at the learning intention that I have up here. So that is to recognise that authors and illustrators, and in this case the illustrator is Ron Brooks, make choices about how they construct their work to influence how the reader feels. So even by looking at the illustrations alone, Ron Brooks has deliberately made you feel a certain way. Your success criteria is I can draw fox, dog and magpie in the way Ron Brooks would in this story. Now, what I'd like you to do is look at the story. It's interesting that he's called it Fox, or Margaret Wilder has called it Fox rather than fox, dog and magpie or dog. They've deliberately chosen to call it Fox. But if you look at this is the whole spine of the book, the back and the front. It is the fox, and if you notice how the brush strokes are on Fox, you'll be able to see that it is a very intense type of drawing. There are a few things I want to show you here as we go. The first one is this beautiful picture where dog looks calm, doesn't he? And magpie looks fearful, and they're taking up the whole of the page. So they are the central characters in the book. And then, as we know, dog runs through the forest with magpie in his big, gentle mouth. And this is a dedication page. It's got nothing to do with the story, but still we're seeing part of the story. So Fox is over here and dog and magpie are featured over in this far corner. So they're very separate from each other, and the story tells, it is a story of separation, where dog and magpie have their own world and Fox enters into that world. Notice he's up the top. He enters into that world as a dominant character. Then as we move on, we've already talked about the words, but as we move on, look at this illustration. So dog and magpie, even though she's hiding in the cave, they're in the middle of the page. And again, I'm saying that's deliberate. Illustrators make very deliberate choices. And look at this as they are looking into the reflection, and they've created a whole new creature. There is unity shown in this picture. So magpie and dog become part of each other. And then they run and they take up the top of the page. So this positioning of these characters shows how elated, how happy they are feeling. They are almost flying, and putting them up the top of the page shows that, and we know that's the case through the book, that magpie and dog fly together. But then look at this. On one page we've got magpie and dog happy and flying together, but then on the other side of the page we have Fox enter the story, and for me that is a threatening image. Fox does not look happy there, he looks quite intense. Whereas if you look at dog, he's smiling at magpie. And magpie seems happy, her wings are extended. And then this is a particularly important page, so hopefully you can see it properly here. So you've got dog allowing Fox into the world, and notice Fox is dominating both pages, but notice where magpie is now that Fox has come into the world. She's down the bottom of the page, and you can see that she looks fearful. And she was fearful of Fox, but it's represented in the pictures as well. And she's trying, it looks like she's struggling just to be in that space. But here, look at those eyes. They're the eyes of Fox, and she could not feel like his gaze was ever off her. It was quite powerful. She felt like he was eyeing her the whole time. And we know in the story that he was. His aim was to get her out of that cave, out of the relationship with Dog, in order to dump her in the desert. Again, when Magpie is with Dog in the next stage of the story, she's up the top. She feels comfortable, and he allows her to be the bird she is. Birds are, by nature, higher above the ground. But when Fox is in her life, she is down lower. It's pretty clever the way that they've drawn this, or the way Ron Brooks has drawn this. And still, again, as he's tempting her to fly with him, she is lower than him, and those intense eyes are still on her. Then they fly, no doubt about it, and Magpie is exultant in this flight. And they're running through the desert where she and he are high, yet small figures to show how vast the desert is. And then look what's happened here as he dumps her. He throws her off his back. I think the wording is like a flea. And she is down the bottom corner again. All right, he is dominant. So he takes the higher ground, he takes up most of the space of the picture, and she is down here. And look at her here as she's alone in the desert. She takes that bottom corner again, and that hot desert sun becomes a feature of this page here. And then she's worried about Dog waking up, and there is the empty cave. I think maybe Dog is in there, but I can't quite see. No, he's not. The cave is just empty. So she's compromised their home. Their home is now empty. And then she decides that she's going to hop on back through the desert, back to Dog. And it's up to you to think about whether Dog will allow her back into his life. But that's not the main aim of the activity today. But you'll notice as she's hopping home, she is now the central character, because it's all up to her to be able to get home. She takes up a large space here on the page and is moving in the direction of home. Now, why is it important to understand this? Illustrations give meaning to work, to a writer's work. So Ron Brooks has done a beautiful job of bringing Margaret Wild's words to life. And by the way, I have been researching this. You'll notice that the work is all over the place. The writing is sometimes horizontal, sometimes vertical, and it looks very childlike. Apparently what Ron Brooks did was he's right-handed, but he wrote the words. They're not typed, obviously. He hand-wrote these words, and he wrote them using his left hand so that they would appear in this more childlike way. In a way, this is a story of innocence, and I'd like you to think about who the innocent party is in this piece of work. However, girls and boys, your job is to draw Fox, Dog and Magpie in the way that Ron Brooks would. And I would love you to upload that to Seesaw, and we might be able to add it to the class blog. All right, girls and boys, thank you for your attention today. This is your literacy lesson for the day, so enjoy your drawing, and
I will include a hyperlink to the book in case you need to look at it again. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.